Hi everyone. By the way, Nir prepared the presentation, so if it's boring, then if it's interesting, it's not me either, because I think that the generative is a fascinating thing. By the way, I think it's overhyped, overtalked, but when I was presented with the choice of what to do in this event, I thought that it should be the most interesting, and at least for me it was really interesting to, again, update all the research around what's going on, what are we using. I can tell you that internally in the company, I think we have around 11 kind of generative AI initiatives, anything from things that are very obvious, like using ChatGPT for translation, for support, for a lot of mundane things, up to things that are more complicated. We talk to a lot of different companies. I think we see around 5 a month, either coming for us for beta partnerships, to raise money, just to come to Azrieli and have some nice coffee or whatever. So I'll try and share some things. I hope it's not too, I try to kind of make it interesting but not too complicated, and hope you enjoy it. So one slide about CrazyLabs, just that you know, we are a hyper casual, hybrid casual focused company. We've been around since 2010. I'm co-founder and CEO, and we have a cumulative around 6 billion downloads, which is a lot, around 200 million MAU. Hi, Eli, hi. I see a lot of familiar faces in the crowd. And we were acquired a year and something ago, just before everything kind of went down, by Embracer, so good for us. And, but we still do good. So let's talk a little bit why generative AI for gaming is interesting. Everyone is talking about generative for everything, but I think in gaming, in the creative fields, it's also super interesting. Both markets are growing significantly. The gaming market is growing, entertainment. Gaming is becoming even bigger and bigger in entertainment. And within that, generative, obviously, everyone is expecting it to explode. Whether it will explode in the hundreds of billions, trillions, or just many billions, I don't think it matters. It creates a wave of innovation and of things that we can leverage. And within generative, I think that there is going to be obviously a lot of evolution. So let's talk a little bit about gaming. So I think most of the companies in gaming can benefit from generative, whether it's, you know, like I said, the simple things, so cost saving on different activities, ASO, support, translation. So there are already things that you can benefit. We are benefiting from things which are already in production. Then around creative, there is obviously all the text and the dealing with art, so Midjourney and all of these. They created the appetite. So you see companies doing 2D, UI, 3D, rigging, animation, text, or the combination of. And it can be deployed on any type of a gaming company. One thing that I want to, you know what, I'll continue and then I'll touch it. So the easiest and simplest thing is cost reduction. So like I said, a lot of things can help you in cost reduction, whether, by the way, it's your BI, your cloud, your analytics, anything that you're already doing now, you can do better, faster, and smarter. And I think this is wave one that is coming. Some of the tools are already beneficial. Some of the test cases are already ROI positive. Some of them will be, let's say, in the next year or so, and this will evolve. But there is already things that are relevant that we are testing, we can test, we are doing ourselves. The key areas around there is around image creation or improvement. Again, I will not get into specific definition, but the seeding is really important, what you provide and what you want to get out of it. So that's important. It's also important for your IP and different difficulties, but image creation, videos, marketing videos, game videos, all of this stuff, or animation, assets and audio are already also included in this, let's call it the wave one. A lot of the tools are not exactly out there. They are doing the 80%, and then some of them are, the value prop is telling you, okay, we can do 80%, but then you need someone to come and make some fixes and so on. Usually, I explain that at this point, I'd better do the 100% rather than just do the 20% because it's more complicated, like a project takeover. But the fact that it's already doing the 80% and that it can do maybe move to the left, move to the right, we see that it's going there, and the tools are improving and the technology is improving. I talked about support and app optimization, ASO, keywords, a lot of things that can then, especially when the App Store today allow you to have multiple store faces, both on GP and iOS, you can then create, the ASO, by the way, is still once, but the icons, the screenshots, and now also the user acquisition can be per kind of store entry. So it can be more interesting, it can be automatically analyzed and improved, and this thing will continue to evolve. So again, marketing is also something very significant. A simple example, Hyper Casual, one of our games, very successful do-it-yourself phone case, 140 million downloads. So our users will be able to benefit from having kind of dynamic content creation within the game. So very simple, very mid-journey, out of the box. You just text what you want, you select it, you place it on top of your iPhone. But it's a new capability. Users that until now had to choose from 10, now they can dynamically do whatever they want, and they feel more accomplished. They feel their taste is answered in a better way. So it's a small thing, but it's working. So these are very small tactical things, but it provides user value out of the box. It's working. It doesn't need manual improvement. Great for us. Other more complicated things is, and companies and people are talking about it, is around parts of game creation, or even the vision is complete game creation. Let's take a hyper-casual game or a hybrid or even a casual game that some companies as a roadmap want to achieve that. So you can either get a lot of help along the way of things that otherwise took maybe potentially more time, more money, or give you even more accurate, let's call it, the inspiration you bring into the table, but then kind of seeing a lot of things much faster in a visual way, generating narrative. So let's see. So here, Miretsky took this use case of first-person shooter, and the marketing was around kind of doing it players like Taylor Swift, pizza, and cats. So this is the kind of game that we wanted to start creating. And the inspiration is 70s espionage movies, bubble shooter weapon, boss fights, and obviously Taylor Swift. You have something with Taylor Swift, right? Okay. So you start with character generation. So again, you provide the seeding, but then which styles you want? Okay.
It's the last presentation.
I can tell them that you're doing stand-ups? Okay.
I don't know
really
what
good.
bring me, but yeah, you can go ahead.
So character generation, sometimes a lot of and I've been a lot in game inception, and many times I send briefs to our art director or ex-art director or present art directors, and you get something. Sometimes you feel, it's not there, but you're limited. You have X amount of people, and you say, you know what, maybe they know better. But if you want to really feel accomplished about your idea, getting the best pitch, then sometimes you want to have another version and another version and another version. It really helps when it can be generated over 15 minutes or 22 minutes, and rather than over 3 days and annoying all your art team and so on. And sometimes it's just a matter of taste. You are looking for something, it's in your head. I'm not very good at drawing, so I cannot put it out, but I know what I want, and this really allows, and there are a lot of things that can help you in starting. You seed, you start getting some version, you say what is the inspiration. Here you did 2 nice ones, Doom inspiration and GTA and the pizza and Taylor Swift and cats, everything is there. Yeah, you got everything. So okay, I liked one of them. And then a lot of the annoyance is, oh, okay, what are going to be the details around there? How to start building the GLD. So I have some idea about the difficulty level and what kind of relationship I want to have with the users, how much they're going to fail, succeed, where at the level they're going to fail or succeed. And then, again, and this is not dynamically generated. So upfront generated, I can have a lot of procedural design for both graphically for the levels and the level design. Another examples. And then, obviously, it's really important what tool I will decide or which tools we will use for the shooter. So again, getting the inspiration right now, a lot of it afterwards will have to either be done by tools that will only, again, give you the 80% or 70 or 60 or whatever, and you will have to put people to really polish that. Or otherwise, you can do it 100% manual right now. I think same cost right now, but again, going forward, I think these things are going to improve. But even having right now this choice, where it was much easier for me to get into a place where I have an idea. What 5? You can give me 10. No? Okay. Okay.
5 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Forgot that later we go to the office. Okay.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, and a backstory. So it's much easier for me to, okay, I got 100 suggestions for backstory. I chose some art directions, and I understood if I want a flat or I want it a bit more 3D, and what level of quality. Do I want it comics or I want it? So I got a lot of choices out of this iterative process with, let's say, myself or the AI, and it got me to a place where now I can send out the brief in a much more complete and better way than I used to do it before. And for people who cannot put what they have in their brain into, into visual and art, it's a really a huge value. And also, it's much more accurate. The backdrop narrative is there, the art style, a lot of things that then can inspire the teams into getting the right result that you want. So now, imagine everything I said and just add dynamically based on player behavior preference. What does it mean? It means that everything that I can create or will be able to create upfront, narrative, levels, art, then obviously the dream is that on bigger games, I can then adjust it based on the player behavior. I can dynamically create for him. He likes these levels, he really plays them, and then he doesn't like others. We see that he loves to shoot one character and not the other, or whatever, and then we can create for him the specific plots within the game. By the way, thinking forward, this is really nice. Everyone is talking about dynamic. There will be also costs. Someone will need to generate that, the servers, they will need to see that the cost per player is sufficient, or maybe you will just generate scenarios for 1,000 players or cohorts, but still it will be a very different experience where the game kind of learns the user behavior and can then dynamically extend it. And again, slowly. Here I have a video. Volume? Okay. Okay, it's not interesting music. So this is just an example of one of the companies, and obviously I think demos there are going probably to be 1,000, but it explains the concept that you can for kind of world exploration or bigger games, even just attending to the terrain or what you see in the game, and obviously designing the level through it, the tools and so on, it can give you a lot of value into dynamically navigating into it. 3, 2. Okay, I think you got the idea. It doesn't let me enough time to. Again, a lot of companies that, and this is just a small list of companies doing generative, some of them already dreaming about this creation, dynamic creation, some of them with a kind of smaller, more accurate value prop. We need to disclaim about risks and issues. One, IP, already already is a big issue. Companies that are traded or have or are worried about their IP, they need to see where they are generating, what is used for seeding, and this is an issue that you need to notice, because if you're going to create a shit game, nobody is going to care where the IP came from. If you're going to create a multi-hundred billion whatever dollar game, everyone is going to care where your IP came from. And you're going to get a lot of emails if you didn't clear that up front. So this is something to worry about. And also a lot of people talking about SKUs and how to make AI kind of still within all the movement of inclusion and diversity. So this is also something to worry about. And also what dynamic content will be created and what the limits are for that. Because let's say you have a KKK folks in the game, do you want to create specific content for them? Okay. So it needs to be, there needs to be limits, and you need to decide how you limit that and how you enforce that limitation. So, and one last thing I want to kind of keep you with the thought. So let's say I met a few companies, and I'll just give a specific example, and then you can extend it into other worlds, full games or video. So I met this company, and they said, look, in 1 year, we will be able to create great videos that you will be able to upload into any service, and kids will want to see them. Okay, great. And right now, there is a distance, but let's say it's 1 year or 3 years or 5. I don't care. I believe them that they will be able, or someone else will be able to do it. The problem is, like anything, is that once there will be the technology to generate good enough games, videos, music, whatever that will be, and or art, there is already some things, the problem then will be not the creation, but the prediction. Because at the end, in the top 10 most viewed videos in YouTube, there are only 10 videos, not 1,000. So if now you can create 10,000 videos by giving some seeding, and your competitor can do it and so on, then your biggest problem moves away further from creation into prediction. And by the way, this is a problem, we deal with it a lot, because in hyper-casual, everything we do is around trying to predict which game is going to be successful. And by the way, even though we do a lot of hyper-casual, or now hybrid is the new, don't want to insult anything that it says that there is no hyper and only hybrid, but it's the same market. If you work with developers and we get 3,000 pitches a year, and at the end, you end up with whatever, 10 or 4 or 5 or 20 that go live. And a lot of them, we don't know. We know the games. This is what we do for 10 years. We see the games. We say, okay, looks good, and it doesn't succeed. So it means the prediction problem is also significant, and it's going to move because there's going to be a lot of new content, high quality, same style. So this is just food for thought. We are dealing with it minus 10%. So we are dealing with it a lot, with the prediction problem and how to extend everything we learned in hyper processing into other fields. And it's interesting, so great field. Thank you very much, Miretsky, for allowing me 2 more minutes for the presentation.